So there's just a lot of branding and marketing that goes into it, and at some point in your experience, people stop paying attention to the music itself or the message.
Yeah.
The message is no longer important.
No.
It's the brand.
It's the brand now. You know, be like this band. And that's just like, sound like this band. It's just, you want to get a record deal, sound like that band. You know, what was a big story I heard? I mean, we showcased for every label in town, dude. And I could tell you 2 that said yes.
We being
Tim the band.
Tim, because we haven't mentioned that. So.
Yeah. Tim the band showcased for tons of labels. You know, and was it Virgin said yes, then the president got fired the next day. So it was just a series of bad showcases and bad luck. I'm trying to think of there was another label on Beverly Boulevard that signed us and then folded. You know, and it's just insane, dude.
What was going on during this time period? I mean, was this a time period where everything was moving to MP3 and file sharing and all of that? That the bottom was coming out of the music industry?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end. Yeah. It was the beginning of the end. It was MySpace and Napster and LimeWire and all those things were happening, and the labels were ignoring it. And yeah, that was it. That all happened. It did not help because labels weren't as quick to give you a record deal for all that money. You know, at this point, the labels really were more interested in signing an indie act which had a record or a CD out that they were selling themselves. So it's like, if you could prove, God, I think at the time it was SoundScan that was out. You know, if you were an indie band with no label and you moved 5,000 units on SoundScan, you know, the label took that into consideration. And we were still of the mindset of like, write the hit single, showcase for the label, and get signed. And it just was a dying art.
Well, yeah, because you're aiming, it's a moving target. You know, what is a hit single? That's a moving target.
Yeah, it's something a label and a program director get behind and break.
Yeah, but how do you do that? I mean, you can sing your heart, you can try and get the chick. You know what I mean? You can be by yourself somewhere and have a guitar and the spirit of a poet and put something together, but you know, whether or not that becomes a hit single or not is completely out of your hands.
Yeah. It's completely out of your hands.
I mean, you can just say what you're going to say. You know what I mean? And see what happens.
But better to live with what you believe in. Like, it's better to hold, you know, hold on to yourself. Like the Misspelled Marquee record that we recorded at Jeff's studio, we ran out of time, we ran out of money, and it's not mixed to perfection. But when I look back at it, like, and I listen to it now, I am proud of it because it was our band. Jeffrey let us be the band. You know, the second record that I did with Jamie Candeloro, which was the Song and Wager record, he had writing credits on it. You know, he manipulated it, and some for the better and some for the worse. Sonically, the record sounds amazing because the guy was an incredible engineer, and he's a pretty good producer as well. But when I listen to that, half of that record I love, and half of it I'm just like, oh, what were we thinking, or what did we do? And it's like, I'm far enough removed from both of those records, and I can be like, Misspelled Marquee, that was Tim the band.
So tell me about Misspelled Marquee and that record. Tell me, you know, and then you're gonna play a tune from that record.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we you know, obviously an artist, I use that word lightly, their first record is all of their best songs, which, you know, they are able to test market, so to speak, their whole lives. You know, again, what songs work. So we had a lot of songs on that record. I think it was 13. Probably didn't need to put them all on there, but we went for it. I came up with some dough. Jeff gave us a great deal. We got in there and we cranked it out, man. And it was a great experience. Like, you know, playing those songs live in the studio. That was my band. You know, it was rad, and it was good, and it was real. And like I said, it's just you run out of money and time. You know, I don't think that record was ever mixed properly because I think Jeff and Leslie did it just because Jeff had to rent out the studio and you had to get it done. And, you know, I don't even think I recognized the importance of finding a legitimate mixer, you know. But it was also new for Jeff. He was learning, you know, branching off from the band and doing some producing stuff. But that record, is, you know, hard as it was to make, was still like, it was fun and it was great. It was a learning experience, and it was just, I felt like a real band then, you know, making it in the studio. The second studio we made, we cut some of the tracks in Jeff's studio, and then most of it was like, not overdubs, but yeah, I guess overdubs at Jamie's house. You know, that didn't seem very rock
Where
and
you'd
roll.
sing to playback?
Yeah, you'd sing there, you'd do guitar parts over it, you know, you would record the drums and the basic, you know, guitar and bass, and then track over that, you know. Sonically, it sounds great. I can't argue with it. I mean, it is fantastic, but it just, that was the beginning of the end of that band, you know.
Play us a tune.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to put this up right here.
There you go.
That looks really good right there. We'll play Try Again soon, right?
Sure.
What we're going to do.
And when'd you write it? What's it about?
I wrote this one about an old girlfriend who, when, you know, you're fighting or you break up for the first time or second time, or, you know, calling her up all the time and getting her answering machine. And it was inspired by The Replacement's answering machine, Paul Westerberg, you know, Try Again Soon. But, yeah, that's it, man. Just being lonely in an apartment in L.A. How does everything sound? Good? Great?
We're there?
Beautiful. All right. Let's do it.
Anyway, it's gone too far. I build them so they break. I get another one. Anyway, what are you doing? My day is over now. I wanna see you soon. I'm calling on graveyards, apartments, no home. I'm calling on you now because I'm alone. And anyhow, what are you thinking? I've been busy, but now I'm all ears. And anyhow, what are you doing? Machine cut me off. I'll try again soon. I'm calling on graveyards, apartments, no home. I'm calling on you now because I'm alone. I'm alone. Anyhow, what are you thinking? Machine cut me off. I'll try again soon. I'll try again soon. I'll try again soon.
Right on, man.
Stuff, man. See, I remember that. Taking down. I'm getting the hang of this, brother.
That's a pretty sad tune.
Yeah, it was funny too because I remember she's like, I don't want that song to be about me. You're busy doing all your shit all day, and you want to hang out with me. You should want to be with me the whole time. And I'm like, well,
what is calling on graveyards? Apartments, no home.
yeah, graveyard shift. So it's always a late night call. Anywhere between 11 and 2.
Right.
And yeah, a white walled apartment, man, does not have the warmth that home does. So, yeah, it's a pretty sad song, man.
All right, that made it onto.
But persistence.
Yes.
I try again soon.
Yeah.
Never quit.
Seems to be something that it's a recurring theme in your life.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it, man.
You're a trooper, man.
We're troopers. Super troopers.
Right on. All right, so Tim misspelled Marquee is the name of the band, or was the name of the band, and it's the name of the.
Well, Tim was the name of the band.
Yeah.
Misspelled Marquee was the name of the record.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So Tim's the name of the band, misspelled Marquee, and you can get that record on iTunes.
Yeah, you can still get it. I still get checks. Yes.
Right on. I mean, yeah, you can get
The
that.
record
on
had a
iTunes.
lot of success for not being on a major label. We got the Virgin Mega Tour where we opened up for Cake and Gomez. We sold a lot of CDs.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of songs got placements in television shows. Like my manager, his name is Brad Aarons, did such a fantastic job with what little we had. And it was just like, I think all of us coming off that tour thought like, what else can we do to get a label to back us? We're selling CDs, we're selling out locally, and then we just said, we got new tunes, let's not worry about it, let's take it to the next album. And that's when we just ran out of steam.
What happened? Doesn't make any sense.
It just
No, hold on a second. So you're opening for Cake and Gomez, which are huge bands. You're touring, right?
Mhm.
You're selling CDs, and the CD is good. I mean, the album is good. I like that album
Yeah.
personally. You have a good manager.
Yep. Had a good lawyer. I mean, there was a little bit of a hiccup. I got offered a TV show for a lot of money.
Oh,
So I took this gig hosting a TV show right when we were going to go back out on the road. But we were going to go back out on the road with no opener. Like this was like, we're going to play Frank's Bar in Atlanta on a Monday night. So right before that happened, I got this gig and I was like, it was a no-brainer. Even my manager said, like everybody in the band was like, you've got to take this gig because it was a lot of money.
right.
And then we'll pick up from where that left off. That drug its feet a little while, that project. It actually did happen. It didn't succeed, but it probably, in hindsight, took its toll on the band because it came down to a selling out aspect. Are you going to get back in the van and play this weird tour with no support, or are you going to take this wacky hosting gig for a ton of money? And for me, I was like, I'm tired of being broke. I'm taking the money.
Right.
So that definitely, I'm sure the band lost a little steam there.
So you slowed down the momentum that you had
For
built up.
sure.
Right.
For sure. But listen, in my defense, all the rejections, like you got to think about all the times we had showcased for bands up into this point that it was like, when I tell you it was a no-brainer, unanimously, manager and band were like, listen, we're not happy about it, but there's no way you cannot take this opportunity.
You can't say no to that check.
You can't say no to that check. You can't, because we'd been beaten up too much. And that check helped, or did pay for the second record, paid for the rehearsal space. You get my drift?
Yeah,
like, so
totally.
So
how do you manage that? I mean, look, I'm not gonna let's not look at this 2020 hindsight and then be judge and jury about it. Okay, that's not where I'm leading that question. Like, I get it, right? You got this band, you have this momentum, things are happening, but everybody's broke, and you have an opportunity to make a lot of money. That's great, right? So how do you manage both. Like, if you could look at it and say, could I have been more honest with myself, or could I be more honest with the band, or is there some transitionary step? Should I have written more? I mean, like, you've been there, you've done it, you see what it smells like, you were in those rooms, you had those thoughts. What's the advice?
There's no way to manage it. It's pick your poison. You're either going for the money or you're keeping the steam, because at the end of it all, it fell apart because you can only capture that momentum for so long. I mean, if I can elaborate, we could have done that tour, and that show wound up not shooting until the tour would have been over. But when I signed the contract,
Yeah, but that,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's just timing. I mean, there's no way you could manage it. There was a decision that needed to be made by me. Do you want to take the money and be a host for the show, or do you want to be in a rock band? And I made the decision that I want the money and take a shot at being a host, because I'd been beat up by the music industry. So my advice is, if you want to be in a rock band and a singer-songwriter, stay that course.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. And I did not. And I can live with it. Things may have been different.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the answer. Stick to your guns.
How does the music industry beat somebody up?
All the rejections, dude. Like, it's just those showcases and how weird it is. Like, it's not easy to audition a rock band. Like, I audition as an actor now, and I get it. It's, it's awkward, but there's rock and roll should never be played in the day. You know what I mean? It's a night. That's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I'm wired. I want to go see a rock band at night, and I want people to be there, and I want alcohol to be flowing. Not 2:00 on a Wednesday afternoon at a rental place. It just never felt right. I tanked every one of those fucking things. And that's how it beat me up. Because I was thinking, like, why can't I recreate this? Like, how come I can't pretend it's the Viper Room on Friday night at 11? Because it's not. It's a bunch of suits that just don't want to be there. It's just awful. I should have never done them, in fact. You want to go hindsight? I should have never done a showcase. I should just, fuck this. If you want my band and you like me, then you come to the Viper Room at 11 o'clock on your weekend. And I can say, that's it, man. I'm telling you, I lost my confidence, and that is what I think ultimately cost me everything. Because Eric Ferris, who has since died, was a VP at Virgin. He was a guy that believed in me, because I would play, or the band would play, Tim the band would play at the House of Blues on Sunset, because I knew the girl that booked there, that she said, how many people can you bring out on a Tuesday night? And I would say 200 or whatever, which is a lot. She would give me free House of Blues tickets. But what she didn't understand was it's easy to give somebody a Ticketmaster House of Blues ticket rather than a flyer. They'll come to that show. They think you're giving them a free ticket to get in. But she was giving me 600 free tickets. So I could get 200 to 500 people to come to the House of Blues.
Just based on the ticket.
Just on the ticket and the venue.
Yeah, got it.
So Eric Ferris showed up and saw us on the House of Blues stage. Here's a band, and it's easy to sound good on the House of Blues because it's an incredible sound system, an incredible light with people packed. He came up to the VIP thing, said, close the door, I'm signing this band. Because he caught it in all of its glory. And even when we showcased, and the showcases weren't that, just him seeing that and experiencing it, he was hooked. He was in. He didn't give a shit about the name of the band or whatever. He believed. And he was the one that got it to Virgin. And I didn't play for his boss. I said, fuck it. I'm not doing it. If you want to see, you come. He didn't even need to see. He just said, just come into the office and meet me. It's Tony Berg. I met him. Boom. The deal was done. I met the president, Ashley and Cooper, whatever their names were. And then the deal was vocalized. But then Monday or Tuesday came, and the presidents of Virgin got fired, and that was it. And then we had the showcase for the new guy, and it didn't work. But you get the drift. Like, I should have just, I wanted a record deal and a fair shot so badly that the air of desperation must have just been so foul and reeked off of me. And it wasn't the same guy that moved with no money and no idea. That guy got beat up from the city and the music industry and just lost confidence and just waffled here and made a ton of bad decisions because of it.